Hello, dear ones. We are Laarkmaa, and we are here to support you on your evolutionary journey. You have entered into a magnificent period of 13 days of experiencing the energy that enhances your intuition. Our short message today was encouraging you to utilize this energy to work on your intuitive skills and increase your telepathic abilities. As you focus more upon your intuition and listening to the wisdom of your own heart, you automatically decrease the fear that is created in the mind or the fear that is brought to you by outside things such as false news, all kinds of things that you see on your internet or in the news, all kinds of things that keep you in a state of mental looping through what can go wrong. But when you listen to your heart, you're caught into the overlighting of what can go right, how everything can go right, in spite of the fact that the brain tells you, the mind tells you, things are going wrong. We are here to talk to you today about the benefits of increasing your intuition, how letting your heart lead you keeps you safe, and also to talk about something that's been rather sensationally discussed and tossed around for the last week or so, something about what we have already pre-warned you. We have told you that you are in the middle of what we would call a frequency war. It is not a physical war as you would perceive it, like a world war or a combat or something like that, but it is a war of the agenda trying to take over human consciousness so that you do not make the evolutionary leap you are destined to make. And those who are pulling the strings are manipulating through increased levels of fear, as well as doing some advanced technologies that are harmful to your species. However, what they do not know and what we are sharing with you is that you have countermeasures that you can use to sidestep any negative benefits that they may wish to achieve from their perspective, detriments, of course, from our perspective. However, you do not have to be victims. You do not have to have things that are harmful to you participate in your ongoing evolution. And what they do and what they plan to do does not necessarily have to have an impact on who you are, where you are going, and how you are evolving. We have told you that everything is energy, and indeed that means you are energy as well. Therefore, it's very beneficial for you to know exactly what energy you carry. In the Pleiadian Earth energy system, that would define what your gifts are, your karmic patterns, what you brought in from the cosmos, and what you are here to work with, which is your purpose. But knowing what your energy is lets you know not only your individual purpose, but how you fit together with your species in the harmony of the whole for raising your human consciousness to a higher level of evolution. So it's very beneficial for you to have this information. In regards to the war, as people talk about it, and as we have said, it's a frequency war. It's a war of energy, where the agenda is using energetic weapons to beam harmful energies into certain people, certain cities, certain locations, certain conversations, anything they wish to disrupt or destroy. They beam a negative, high-powered energy beam into it, called DEW. However, you have protective, energetic things that you may use as well. The greatest thing you need to know is to step away from fear and into the energy of love, because when you're in the energy of love, that is a very beneficial energy to keep your vibration high. And in an energy war, the best thing you can do is to keep your energy vibration high at all costs. However, that does not mean you do not need to make some changes, and that does not mean also that you can only focus on the light and refuse to look at the negative things that are happening all around you. Of course, as a light bearer, you need to see what is going on in the dark. How else can you bring your light into the darkened situation? You must see it, look at it, see what's going on, and then ask, how can I help? How can I be of service? And we also mentioned there are some things you need to do that are necessary in this war of frequency for you to keep yourself safe and for you to evolve in your intended evolutionary process. The main thing is something that we have been talking to you about for years. We know we've been talking about it for at least 3 years when the technovirus was begun, when 5G was promoted while you were all locked away in your homes, being told to be safe by keeping distance from each other. All the lies that you were told during that time were a distractor to keep you from seeing the 5G antennas that were now in place all over your planet. Now you have not only 5G, but 6G as well, blanketing the planet in satellites that rotate over you, and also in cell towers all around you. And yet many of you throw up your hands and go, what can we do? We can't stop the satellites. We can't do anything. And we would remind you, we have told you something very definitely that you can do. You can surrender your smartphones. You can spend less time on internet and only when it is wired to your computer, getting rid of wireless. You can do things that distract from what they are trying to do by disconnecting. You can say, I am a biological human being. I am not someone who is aligned with AI. And those of you who insist that you have to have your smartphone are voluntarily agreeing to join with the artificial intelligence that they are trying to force upon you. This is something we have said over and over and over. But the good news is that this is a planet of choice, and you have a choice, and you're about to be put to the test to decide whether you want to utilize your choice and stay safe by listening to your intuition and your heart's guidance, or whether you want to cling to fear and old patterns and habits of behavior because they're more convenient, whether they take your life or not. Your lives are valuable. You are here to be of service. You are here to be the biological, divine sparks of light, made of light and water that you are. You have a service. You have a purpose. You have a mission. And none of that includes aligning with artificial intelligence and allowing some chip to be flipped on at the flip of a switch that automatically can cause you to align more and more with the artificial aspects of intelligence and less with the biological heart that is your natural center and core. Those in America have been pre-warned by your emergency service that you will receive an emergency broadcast on the 4th of October. But they also gave you a subtext in this warning saying that if for some reason it does not happen, which is to instill fear in you, if for some reason we cannot promote this test, we will then do it on October the 11th. So 2 dates have been named where they're going to be doing something that is larger than any test that has ever been done before. On your cell phones, your wireless, wherever, they're going to be beaming a signal for one of these DEWs into those who are connected to artificial intelligence. So we encourage you, whether this is true or not, whether it happens or not, we can tell you from our perspective that this is indeed a plan. You can subvert this plan by refusing to participate. Because it is the planet of choice, we never make predictions. We tell you what the potentials and the probabilities are, what you must do to change and avoid them, and then you get to make the choice. And that's exactly what's going on now. The agenda is focused upon releasing this negative wave of energy that will be stimulated by anyone's connection to artificial intelligence. That includes your smartphones, your regular phones, your landlines even, your television, your computer, all wireless internet at all, tablets, your widescreen television, your smart meters, anything that has the word smart attached to it. All of these things are part of the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence. And they all are scheduled to receive a beam of energy that will activate them, that will cause something to stir within you, to cause harm in your biological system, and cause you not to be able to be who you are. This is the first overall test, and all of the news says it's focused on America. There is some news that also mentions that Israel will go along with the same testing because Israel is so aligned with America. But we are here to tell you, no matter what they are telling you in your news, no matter what they are saying about this is the American emergency broadcast system, those in Europe have also agreed to follow the agenda and will be releasing the same wave of energy on the same day at the same time locally in Europe as well. There are probably other countries that will be participating that have not spoken up also. In other words, from our perspective, we see a global initiative of the agenda to institute this negative wave of energy to create some kind of block to your spiritual evolution, causing physical, mental, and emotional harm. And the reason they are doing this is because they know that they are losing the frequency war. They know that more and more people are waking up, saying no, and refusing to participate. They know this, so they're trying to take an offensive attack and cause difficulty within you. Now, the more of you who are aware of this, the more of you who make a plan not to participate, not to have your smartphones, your wireless, your televisions, your smart house meters, your smart cars, anything active during this time of testing, the more of you they will see, oh, they're not connected. Thereby, you have the opportunity through the power of your own energy and your own choice to completely avert this negative strike against humanity. It may not happen at all if you choose not to participate. We consider this very excellent good news. Excellent because it empowers you and lets you know that you can make a difference. Excellent because it reminds you that you have a choice. Excellent because you can share a plan with others so that they know what to do also. The test is scheduled to be in America at 2:22 in the afternoon. That is the time zone that you need to adjust to wherever you are in the world. And this is scheduled on October the 4th and October the 11th also possibly. At that time, they are going to emit this DEW, causing a wave of negative, harmful energy to go out across the planet and attack anyone who is attached in any way to the frequency that can pick up and read this energetic attack. That's all the smart devices we just mentioned, and even regular phones. We are suggesting that exactly at 2 o'clock on Eastern Time, or earlier if you choose, that you take all of your electronic equipment, tablets, telephones, smartphones, flip phones even, computers, everything. Take it and put it in a microwave if you have one. Hopefully you never use a microwave because they are indeed negative. And there's no guarantee that the microwave can even block completely such an attack, but it will prevent some of it to come into your system. And we suggest that you leave them powered off for 4 hours at least. Now, our personal recommendation from the Pleiadian perspective is to throw out the smartphones and never pick them up again, to get rid of the smart meters on your houses, not to be anticipating in any kind of smart technology, not to participate with wireless ever, but to turn off all the switches to wireless in your homes or your offices and have only internet beamed in through your electrical wires, which you can turn on and off at will. And by the way, you should switch off all the electrical wires to your internet at the same time while they are doing this test. Whatever time zone you are in, even if this does not come to pass, even if the agenda realizes it's not going to work and they do not do this test that they are planning, you are still empowering yourself to take action. You are still doing something positive with your vibration by getting rid of the harmful devices and setting them aside. Go take a walk in nature. Do something positive for yourself. Do something loving to someone you care about. Do something that is biologically and heart-based, not attached to internet and the mind. This is our suggestion for you in moving forward. We've been asked to speak about this today, and we want to tell you again, they are trying to ramp up your level of fear, and they are giving you false information. But we are telling you, false information is everywhere these days. which is why you need to take this 13-day energetic period that is aimed at enhancing your intuition and tune into your heart and practice listening to your intuition, which is connected to Source and which will always guide you and keep you safe. This 13-day period happens just before a major solar eclipse on October the 14th on your Gregorian calendar. That day will be a major time of releasing negative energies. If you do not participate in negative energies coming in that are planned during this 13-day period, then there will be less to have to be released during the eclipse, which will be beneficial for all life on Earth. So we suggest that you practice your intuition, that you raise your vibration, that you remember you are here on a mission and a purpose, and that you increase your frequency with every waking thought, every breath you breathe in, everything that you feel. Remember, you are a divine spark of light, and you are here to bring light into the darkness. Don't hide from the darkness, and don't try to fight it. Don't resist it. Instead, notice it, recognize how powerful you are, and make a choice to align with the light, get rid of the technology, and be who you truly are. These are our suggestions for what's coming in. This is the message we wish to share with you today. And know one more thing. Sound manifests everything. So we've been teaching you various sounds for years and years. The O sound to connect you up and down to the stars and into the core of the earth. The E sound that connects you to each other and across the planet. The Ah sound that has opening of your heart functionality. And for protection, we suggest that you listen to a few bears on some YouTube and listen to how they use a low guttural sound for communication. You can communicate at the time of this event, this test coming in. You can use your sound all over the planet, trying to sound like bears and emitting a sound frequency that blocks what they're trying to send into where you are. Practice it. Play with it. Be bears of healing. Be the people that you are here to be, light bearers. Remember that sound can manifest positively or negatively. So you're going to be manifesting positively, all of you together, because there's more of you than there are of them. And their negative attempts at sound will not have anywhere to go if you do this. We're ready for your questions now.
Hi, Laarkmaa. Thank you for all this information that you're sharing with us. My question is, I thought anything that's plugged into electricity should be like shut off, or are we just talking radio waves and like cell phone type of things?
Well, we would suggest, just for safety, that you turn off everything for a little while. Just be in nature. It's aimed at all the electronic devices, but it could come through your electricity as well if it's attached in any way to any type of signal like a Wi-Fi. So just to be safe, unplug everything.
Okay. And for the rest of the day, or you mentioned 4 hours, that's a safe amount of time, you believe?
4 hours is a recommended amount of time to be on the safe side. They will not be beaming this indefinitely. And since they've announced an exact time, if you start doing it before that and then do it several hours after that, that should work. Remember, the reason we're talking to everyone about this is because You have the power to prevent this from happening at all. The more of you who prepare to say, no, we're not going to put up with this, and who are not available to even receive these messages if they're sent, the more they will see it as futile and will not pursue it. So it's not a necessary thing that's going to happen. It's what they're planning. But the reason we're speaking to you about it is to empower you and help you to recognize that you don't have to participate. And if you say no and do countermeasures to prevent things like this through your own vibration, then it may not happen at all.
Right, yes, and that's amazing. I think that that's, just reminding us of our own power to do that. I just wanted to clarify with the toning, like the bear, this is toning that we would just kind of continue to do during that time frame that this is happening. Is that how you meant it?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Just a countermeasure that's done in love.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. Thank you so much. It's exciting to have, our own plan. I think it's important, everything you're saying, because it just gives people, it reminds us that we have power. We can make a plan. We still have a couple of days to just, maybe it won't happen at all. That'll be fantastic. Thank you so much, Laarkmaa.
Thank you, dear one. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate your being present on Earth and joining our call today. We love you. Good always.